Ramadan, in quarantine, stay home orders, COVID-19 just flipped our lives. Everything that we consider normal has really changed. We are getting used to a very new and different normal. No shopping, no malls, no playgrounds, no travel, no seeing family and friends, even if they just live a few blocks away. Life has become very, very different, and it's very frustrating and overwhelming for a lot of us. And I wanted to help you today with a few tips on how to stay healthy and sane while in quarantine in Ramadan this year. First and foremost is having the right mindset. I believe that there is nothing in this world that is purely bad or purely good. Everything has its positive and its negative, and it's up to us what we want to focus on. It's up to us if we want to make this experience a negative, overwhelming, frustrating experience and we get out of it without any benefit, or if we want to train our mind to focus on the positives that we can get out of this quarantine. Quarantine came and it slowed down our lifestyles. We are always complaining about how busy our life is. We're running from work to school to the kids' sports to cooking to errands. We never have time to really slow down and enjoy life. And I find that this is the biggest blessing that the quarantine had given us. But in order to enjoy that blessing, we must be willing to have the mindset that quarantine is not all bad. Make sure that you build a routine and a schedule. Our lives were built on the routine of schoolwork and your work time and dinner time and the kids' activities. And when the quarantine came and the stay-home orders came in, all of these things suddenly stopped and life became really just a chaos. Kids can wake up anytime, they don't know when to start their stuff, you're not sure when to work or when to cook. And even though your kids might make it sound like they're enjoying the no routine life, no structure, but actually a routine helps kids know what to expect, and that helps them act and behave better, and it helps you plan your day around this routine so that you know when you can cook and when you can work and when it's time for the kids. But if the day has no structure, it will become extremely hard for everybody at home to get the stuff that they need done. And I suggest sitting with your kids and making that routine together, because they will be more willing to stick to it if they make it with you. Our routine at home in Ramadan looks something like this. We wake up in the morning, the girls go ahead and start school right away. We sit for about 2.5 or 3 hours and finish all the schoolwork, and then they get a break to sit and talk with their friends, virtually of course, and mama gets some time to finish her work and get stuff done. Then we have some kind of spiritual or religious time where we sit and read Quran together, we read a book, do our prayers, and we just kind of have that family spiritual time together. It's then time for cooking, setting up the table for iftar, which has actually become my daughter's favorite highlight of the day. Before iftar, we have a certain episode that we watch so the kids know what to expect that last hour before iftar. After iftar, we just sit together as a family, wait for Isha, and then everybody gets to sleep so that we can all wake up for Qiyam and Fajr. Having that routine in place really helped my sanity and the kids and my husband, because everybody knows what to expect, when to expect it, where things should be done, when they should be done. Rather than trying to enforce rules every day and trying to remind your kids every day with what they need to do and what they need to get done, a written routine can help everybody and kind of be your checks and balances, kind of be that thing that you can get back to so that you know if the kids can get more screen time, they can get more playtime, or they're done for the day. After you set your routine, I actually want you to lower down your expectations to the minimum and know that you are not going to follow that routine precisely and that things are not going to go perfect, because again, we are in a very unnormal situation. Things are not going the way they should be going. And if you have been a working mom and this is the first time that you're staying home with the kids and homeschooling with your husband working at home, you know that it's not easy. So in order for you to stay happy, yes, set a routine and try to follow it, but know that it is no way going to be perfect. That kids might spend more screen time than you want. That kids might not do every single thing that you want in the day. That maybe not every day will be perfect. That maybe there will be days where you will just chill and not do anything. And that expectation can really help you go through this time without feeling so much anxiety. So don't aim for perfection. Try to think of it as the space and the wiggle room that the quarantine allowed you to have. It's that flexibility that we usually don't have in life, but right now we have that flexibility. Try to enjoy the small things. We have become a very, commercial, money-driven culture. Everything is about, what we bought, the latest car, the latest fashion, the biggest house, what did you buy this week? We're used to consuming so many things in order to make ourselves happy. And we lost touch with the small things. We lost touch with enjoying the sounds of birds in the morning whispering in the garden, or gardening and planting something in the garden, or just sitting with your family around the table and having a very normal talk that doesn't include electronics or laptop. But just try to find your happiness from small things in life, real blessings in your life, not the latest shoes and not the most expensive bag, but true blessings. You can focus your mind every day on enjoying some of these really small things in our life. It can really transform your happiness and really lower down your anxiety. Another thing that I think you should be doing is making sure that you're also scheduling time for yourself, because this might seem very different than our normal life. And as much as I love the extra quality time that I'm having with my kids and my family, but I still need my alone time. This is when I recharge and I refill so that I can enjoy my kids the next day. So when I set my routine up, I make sure that there is time for me, that there is quiet time in the day. There is time when everybody can sit down and do their own thing, whether it's sit down and read a book, read Quran, do their prayers, take an outside walk, whatever it is, but just make sure that you have some alone time. And I think of it as a recharge time. This is when I recharge and get ready for the days ahead. Quarantine has reduced our physical activity so much, more than what we can imagine, because it's not just that the gyms are closed, that we are going to the grocery store only once a week. We're not going to the mall, we're not going to work, so we're not walking from our office to the lunchroom every now and then. We're literally staying home. And so our physical activity is way below the normal level. And that can really affect your mood and your energy and your health and your weight and a lot of other aspects. Physical activity is one of the best ways to enhance our happy hormones, and we need that now more than ever. And so try and commit yourself to taking a light walk, a light run around the neighborhood, maybe finding a workout video that you enjoy and doing it a couple of times a week. I would say a minimum of 4 times a week, doing some sort of physical activity for at least 40 minutes. Because with the amount of staying home that we are doing, we really need to put an extra effort into scheduling some physical activity in our life. You're going to feel how much your mood will be elevated and how much your energy will be enhanced when you start adding any type of physical activity. If you have little kiddos at home and you can't leave them, then think of physical activities that you can involve the kids in. Maybe a hopscotch or rope jumping, or the kids taking their bikes or their scooters and you taking a walk next to them, or playing soccer outside in the garden. Whatever really fits where you live and your lifestyle and the age of your kids. My last tip is don't take the quarantine as an excuse to overeat and gain weight. And don't take it as an excuse to binge and eat unhealthy food, because it is not. Staying home actually can allow you a very unique opportunity to focus on your health. But here are a few tips. I know that a lot of us are working from home and homeschooling, and time is tight. So some of the tips that I have for staying healthy during this period is keeping it simple and pre-planning your meals. Those two things can really save your life. We need to reduce our grocery store visits to the minimum. And so you need to pre-plan your meals. You need to sit down on the weekend, ask each family member to pick one full day, like the food for that day, and write it down. If you have 4 family members, then you've got 4 meals to go, and write down the shopping list. Make sure that when you go, you get everything that you need to make all these 4 meals so that you are good to go for 1 week without needing to worry. Make sure that you always cook 1 meal for 2 days so that you don't end up cooking and cleaning every single day. Always cook in bigger batches and reuse that food. Make sure that you keep it simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Eating healthy can be as simple as roasting some vegetables in the oven, making a healthy, delicious salad, or maybe even steaming some vegetables. Keep things simple so that you can enjoy the simplicity and the slow down pace of the quarantine and still stay healthy and sane. Get your kids involved if they are old enough. Get them to cook with you, prep the table with you, maybe empty the dishwasher every once in a while. And one really small tip that works out in my home is emptying the dishwasher first thing in the morning when you wake up, so that as the kids go in and out of the kitchen throughout the day, at least everybody can put their plate in the dishwasher right after they use them, and you don't have to go and stand in front of a full sink at the end of the day. Make sure that you don't allow yourself to overeat or binge as an excuse to kind of make up for the quarantine. Food does not make us happier. Overeating sugar and carbs and eating huge amounts of food are not going to make this quarantine or lockdown any easier. So instead of focusing your mind on that, focus your mind on doing actual activities that can help you feel better during this time. So really, these are my tips. This is what worked for me during this quarantine. This is what helped me go through and helped me make sense of this new normal, helped me find things that I can enjoy, and helped me stay healthy during this time. Healthy mentally and physically,